Well, hello everybody, and welcome to my little live stream. It's about time, I guess, sort of addressed the Doctor Who thing and how it's going to move forward. Hello to Classic 80s, and hello, Colin. Welcome for joining me. You'll have to excuse me. It's early in the morning. I haven't had enough of. I know it's the afternoon, but you know what I mean. I didn't get much sleep last night, so it's time for a lot of coffee. So yeah, it's about time we sort of addressed the issue that is Doctor Who. How much time do you spend creating intros? It's a hobby. It really is a hobby. It's a bit bright, that is. Let's turn that down a bit. There we go. That's a bit better. That light was a bit bright. It's a hobby of mine. I'm learning how to use After Effects. So I slowly but steadily sort of learning how to do things, and that's why intros change from time to time. So, right then, so let's get to it, shall we? How do we see Doctor Who moving forward in the future? Well, it didn't take long for the problems to arise, did it? Literally not long after the regeneration of Jodie into David, which apparently an awful lot of people were surprised at. Okay, whatever. It began. Now, yep, absolutely. That's what I'm doing it for, Colin. It's I'm self-teaching myself, which I think is pretty cool, and I find it quite enjoyable. So it didn't take long for the other side, or whatever you want to call them. In fact, let's not even call them that anymore. Those people who have come out and said they hate David now, and it's overshadowed Shooty and Jodie and blah 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 blah. They're not fans of the show. It's that simple. They're not fans of the show because it's clearly obvious that they're not fans of the show. They are fans of look at me. They are fans of causing aggro for aggro's sake. Hiya, John. No worries, mate. You can catch it up on YouTube like you always can, ladies and gentlemen. Remember that this will be up on YouTube after I've done this. And also don't forget to, I forget to do all the time, which is like, share and subscribe if you wouldn't mind, if you want to listen to some more ramblings of a brummie, a fat bloke sat in his shed surrounded by his toys. Then you can hit that subscribe button and you can get more of this. Well, not more of this. I don't do that many live streams, although 2 today. At 3 o'clock, I will be on Wookie Fever's channel on his stream. That's 3 p.m. UK time, just so you're aware. So, yeah, so these people aren't fans of the show. They're just fans of the aggro. They're fans of causing nothing but grief. They will grab, shout, scream, and do whatever. And that's exactly what they are. They're just activist trolls, a lot of them. They're not interested in the show. You could tell they're not interested in the show because they're like, oh, what do you mean Jodie's regenerated into David Tennant? What a surprise. Well, that proves you've been paying absolutely zero attention to the show. But we all knew that. It's time to let these idiots shout into the void, I think, ladies and gentlemen. The fandom is never going to be repaired. The fandom is forever destroyed. It exists no longer, only in small enclaves of groups, and unfortunately it appears that's the way it's going to be. And these activist trolls, which is probably the way we should refer to them now, from now on, are just skipping from group to group, stirring up shit just for their own personal excitement gains or whatever. It's I remember seeing someone in the chat saying quite openly that I think it was only there for Jodie and would not watch after she left. Well, this is very much akin to those people who are screaming, I'm going to leave Twitter. They'll still be here, and those people will still be there. They'll still be there because, they live for the aggro. That's all they live for. They live for causing no end of problems. They will flip and chop and change. It is nice to see that some people who were very pro Jodie have actually come out and said, okay, enough's enough, we'll move on and it'll be fun and we'll see how it goes. Those people probably are those people who really did enjoy the Jodie era. And if you did before you start, I have no issue with you. I have no problem with you and never have had any problem with you. If you've enjoyed this iteration of the Doctor, if you've really enjoyed her performances, if you've really enjoyed everything there is to do with Doctor Who while Jodie was there, then that's absolutely fine. There is no animosity towards anyone because it is a TV show after all, and people are allowed to have their opinions. I know a lot of people don't like other people to have opinions, but there you go. There are opinions, and it's, that's fine. If you like Jodie, you like Jodie. But also on the flip side, you also have to understand there are people who won't. Like there will be people who like David Tennant coming back, and there are people who won't. There'll be people who like Ncuti Gatwan, and there are people that won't. That's just the way it works. That was some time ago before the toxicity got really bad, and at least they were honest about it. Well, yeah, absolutely, Colin. If that's true, then that's fine, and doesn't wrong, that's cool. There's a lot of hello, Daniel. Hope you're doing okay, mate. Honestly, mate, I really do. My DMs are open if you need them, mate. You know that. I don't think any of us have had any problems with anyone enjoying the show itself. I don't think that was the issue. The issue was those who now quite blatantly and clearly can be seen for what they are, which was nothing but troublemakers and shit stirrers, basically, because they're still doing it. They've chopped and changed. They're now taking on the hashtag not my doctor, which I just think is just stunningly hypocritical. That's the way it is. People are like that. People, as I said, they're not fans. So let's go. What's happened right then? So it was very quick that Jodie was ignored immediately. I mean, let's be honest. As I said on Noel's stream, merchandising was ready to go, and lo and behold, the very next day, the new logo comes out, which is a hark back to the older logos. Now, I will be covering, obviously, talking about some of the issues and the issues that I understand people have, but we'll just go with that. So the new logo came out almost immediately. So that was the start of the re-merchandising. Then they announced that they were in partnership with Disney Plus, and this has got a lot of people worried because, oh no, the mouse is involved. Right. So as far as I can see, by spending the last few hours whilst I wasn't sleeping, digging through the internet, only the Telegraph, the Daily Telegraph, or the Telegraph, has come out with this statement that Disney are heavily involved with the production of Doctor Who. The BBC haven't confirmed it. Bad Wolf haven't confirmed it. Russell T Davies hasn't confirmed it. No one's confirmed it. It's just made by one paper. Now, I understand people's worries and concerns. I'm a huge, as you probably already know, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. And what Disney has done to Star Wars is unforgivable. Although I will be honest, quite enjoyed The Mandalorian. Boba Fett was a bit Andor, which I was going to do reviews on, but I think I might wait till it finishes and do a complete thing. Is slow and boring, but that's the way it goes. I don't know what that back noise is. No. So I can hear a funny noise, and I don't know what it is. The dumb thing about Not My Doctor is many fans have their Doctor, Tom in my case, but that does not mean they have anything against other doctors, other actors, and regenerations. It's exactly the same. That we've always had this. We've always had this with every regeneration of the Doctor. Some people like them, some people don't. Some people are a bit, I don't know. You like some, you don't like some. It's just the way it is. So, in any case, let's get back to Disney. So, people are jumping on this now and screaming the fact that Disney's going to destroy Doctor Who. People are convinced that the mouse is involved, and that's the end of that. Disney are going to destroy it, blah, blah, blah. Right, as far as I can understand, as I said, all my late night reading last night when I wasn't sleeping, all I can see is they are just the distributors worldwide of the show. There is an interview on YouTube. I'll share a link when it loads up on YouTube to it. Where if you actually listen to them doing their talk about having Doctor Who on Disney, they barely have any idea what Doctor Who is, to be fair. Yes, Daniel, as I see, it's a deal to reach more countries. I don't see it any more than that. No, I agree. I don't see it any more than that. I see it for what it is. But thing is, I can understand, and I do get where people are coming from. We have to remember that there's a lot of very jaded, battle-scarred Doctor Who fans who've endured the last 5 years, and they're exceedingly nervous, worried, concerned that perhaps things aren't going to go the way they are. I have my concerns, but I'm trying to balance that up, if that makes sense. I still worry about how Doctor Who is going to be moving forward. I really am still. I have my concerns, but I'm also trying to be a bit positive because at least Doctor Who is being talked about with quite a substantial level of excitement. People are now, people are excited about it. I know a lot of people don't like the new logo. Well, that's just the way humanity is. Some people do like the logo, some people don't like the logo. It's just the way of things, and I get it, and I understand. I understand that a lot of people are worried that with David Tennant coming back for his 3 episodes, that they think it's going to be a bit of bait and switch. I understand that. I can see that. I can see where people are coming from. But this is all because of what's happened. Yes, Daniel, the audio was awful, although I did think that Prince had died, but apparently it appears that Prince now works on the audio department of Disney and delivering microphones. But no, their audio. But it also did appear that press conference was actually being held in their restaurant, I think, by the looks of it. So, but I agree, the audio was terrible. I hope this just a distribution there. A very idea of Disney getting its hands on anything these days is usually worrying. Yeah, and that's where I get it. I do get it, Colin, that's where the issue and the worry is concerning. As I said, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and what they did to Star Wars was unconscionable, but there you go. But yes, that's where I get it. I understand it. A lot of people are trying to read a lot more into what Disney's involvement is. And I think because they're worried about exactly that they're worried that Disney's going to somehow destroy it. The Telegraph says that Disney is giving money to the BBC and Bad Wolf to pay for it. Well, there's been co-partnerships and deals with Doctor Who since 1996, as far as I could tell. So that's nothing unusual, and that's nothing to worry about. In fact, remember that Jodie's era had a partnership with an American TV company as well, where they were was it NBC? I think it was NBC, where they were putting money in. That doesn't mean anything, People will part in the world now with the financial situations that it is. TV companies will, help each other out, put money in for rights, etc. So that'll be interesting. We do know those who's taken over Piers Morgan's position, and that's all we need to know. Exactly, Doctor Who is looking promising. It is looking. I mean, for all the worry and the concerns, it is looking positive. There is the possibility that Doctor Who could be brilliant again, which would be lovely. But I also get where everybody else is coming from. I do see the worries. I understand the worries, and I accept that people are going to feel like that. It's the thing. We're in one of those situations with Doctor Who now where we've had a really bad, rough period of time in Doctor Who. It looks like the change is looking positive, but as with everything in life, you always default back to your past experience, and that is where people's worries and concerns come from. And I get it, and some of them I actually share. I really do. As I said, there was a talk about Russell going heavy in on the environment. When you read it, that's what it says. When you listen to the interview, which I put on one of my videos, it doesn't seem that way. It seems that he's more aware of his audience now. Yes, I could see that some people will see that, oh, well, that he's only doing that because kids are brainwashed about the environment. I don't think so. But I've no idea what that noise is, if you can hear it. It's coming from behind me. That's a bit of a worry. That sounds like water. I'll have to go and check that in a minute, because I don't know if you can hear that noise behind me, but that's coming over my shoulder. Shooty is actually spelled like that, mate. It's amazing. He's written amazing too. Thank goodness Half Hour Studios gone. Yeah, absolutely. We're all glad that Jodie's gone. Although some people aren't, surprisingly enough, and some people are confused. I think RTD has his wrist slapped by the BBC, but he's gone quiet on his political views. Yes, I agree that he's gone very quiet. Everything's a little bit, not so much of a, an issue. It's he seems to have gone quiet. Shooty's making all the right noises. Sorry, but I'm getting really. I'm going to have to go and see what that is, guys. If you could bear with me a moment, I'll be back in a second. But it sounds like I've got some major water problem. If you just hang on, stay there. I'll just go and have a look, see what it is, and I'll come back. Hold on. I think I found what it is. It's that. That's what the problem is. Found it. Right, sorry guys. Sorry about that. Do apologise. Found out what it was. It was my old space shuttle going mad. Right then. Very fact the BBC seems to have held him back from expressing critical views to fit into theirs. It's a positive sign for once, maybe. I love the logo. It shows that Russell knows he has appealed to the fandom. It does appear that things may be moving in the right direction, but time will tell. Absolutely. And I agree. Many things are starting to look up. Yes, they are. Sorry I had to disappear. Guys, I found out what it was, but it sounded like rushing water. And as there's a toilet outside. Yeah, it just, I don't know. It's stopped now. No, I think it's the batteries. I'll have to sort that out, but I've put it outside now so it doesn't distract me from the sound of rushing water, which, as I said, there's an outside toilet just literally here. And I thought that was leaking, but fortunately it wasn't. Yes, I know. Take the batteries out unless you're playing with it. I know. Is that diamond logo for real for the next series or just for the 60th? Apparently, so it's been said that that's the new logo going forward, because that's exactly the same logo that Disney were putting on the screens behind them when they were announcing that Doctor Who was coming to Disney Plus. So I would imagine that is now the new logo. Excuse me. Yeah, that's the new logo going forward. Otherwise, Disney wouldn't have had it at their backdrop. So, as I said, I can see where the concerns are going, but also I can see that things are heading in the right direction. Ncuti is now saying all the right things. I know some people, here we go again, some people jumped on the fact that when he did his little interview, he said they for the Doctor, and that means the Doctors are they, them. No, it's not. He was using they in its English one, which is describing multiple things, as in multiple personalities of the Doctor. So that isn't there. I know some people have said, oh, well, what a surprise, he's gone. You know, if I could take the TARDIS anywhere, I would take it to Nigeria or Africa. That's fully understandable in my book. Anyone would say the same thing if you had a different, yeah, I mean, where would I take mine? It'd be somewhere, no doubt, in this country, back in history. I'd like to go and, see Isambard, Kingdom Brunel and things like that. So I have no issue with that. It isn't surprising. I know on the Disney one, he was saying it was important to, people of his minorities. But if you listen to what was said, in reality, he was talking about the show before him as well. So, a lot of the those are the Peking Eye logo. So if you could use it for episode, it seemed logical. That one, yeah, fair enough. So I understand that. The problem is because of the way things have been for the last 5 years and the world that we live in at the moment, people are having a tendency to read a lot into things, not always necessarily for the right reasons. The simple truth of the matter is we don't know how good Ncuti's going to be. We don't know what the show is going to be like with Russell writing it nowadays because we haven't seen it. But, I do, there are concerns and there are a lot of things that will make people just go, I'm done, I'm out. But I think what we should do is we should be giving both Russell and Ncuti the opportunity to show us what they can do. People have complained about the little tiny bit that we got at the end of The Power of the Doctor about Ncuti's accent and the way he speaks. Again, ladies and gentlemen, it was not even 2 seconds worth of dialogue. Again, are we really reading into it? Are we just presuming because of the things that have happened and things that have been said that that's the way he's going to go? Who knows? It's difficult because I am very. I'll rephrase that. Before I was very, I wasn't very optimistic at all. To be honest, to visit Africa's history would be very interesting if done well. I won't mention John Boyega's movie. Yeah, but again, I mean, what he was saying about going back to meet a African goddess, which would be cool. Why not? Why not? Why not go to Africa? We don't do that very often. I don't, in fact, have we? I'm sure somebody will correct me, but I don't think it's, have we ever been to Africa and done any African stuff? At least it's not that Sheffield accent, lol. Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. Still confused about how people took that as a camp. I don't hear it at all. No, what I hear is a Rwandan twang to his voice. That's what I heard. But again, because of all the doctor's it's going to be a gay doctor. The doctor's going to be gay because he's gay. Therefore, the doctor's going to be gay. I get it. I understand that some people are going to project that onto it, but I actually heard it more as a Rwandan twang to his voice, which is hardly surprising. Because if you listen to the way he talks in interviews, that's how he talks. and accents do change, or if somebody speaks with a certain language, an accent can change because of being under pressure. So it's confirmation bias, possibly. I mean, the thing is, again, it was literally a 2-second burst of someone tell me what the hell is going on. That was it. That was how long it lasted. And we've somehow managed to take that little sentence and project it into this massive thing. We have no idea. We literally have no idea. All I'm saying is, if you listen to the way he talks in interviews and you then use that as a basis, that is technically his the way he talks. So we'll have to wait and see. Definitely to find out if the Orochi was one of the races that are in the gods in Doctor Who's history. Why not? It would be awesome, wouldn't it? Well, I mean, see, like people immediately take he wants to go to Africa. Why not? Why not explore literally that? It's a great storyline, and I do get confused at times what people exactly want from Doctor Who. Yes, I know. It's always been a white man and all that sort of stuff. And I get that, and I understand it. He talks eloquently. Yes, he does. He does. I mean, in reality, and he is very clear. So again, we're getting to this stage, as we've always been. I think we've always been like this with Doctor Who, where what do people want? What do you actually want from Doctor Who? What is it that you've seen that you want to gain from Doctor Who? Me personally, I just want to sit down and be entertained for half an hour, 45 minutes, however long that they decide to run the episodes for. That's all I want. I don't particularly want to be preached to. I don't want things forced down my throats. But remember that Doctor Who has always tackled political things. It's just always been done very cleverly and very subtly, unlike with Jodie, where it was literally picked up and shoved down your throat. So that's fine. I want to see him in a full episode. It's hard for me to form an opinion on him right now. The clip was very short. Exactly, Daniel. How can anyone, hand on heart, go what people are saying? If they're going to do the gay thing, which I have no problem with, they only need to be said in one episode. And unlike Bill and Sue said every episode, that exactly. And this is, again, I want a good story with lots of sci-fi. That's all we need. Look, see, the thing is, if the Doctor is portrayed as a gay man, so see, like Bill Potts, Pearl Mackie, who played Bill Watts, I thought she was a really good companion. I really enjoyed being in it. Yes, it was a little bit narky that she had to keep reminding people that she was a lesbian. There was no need to do that. It was pretty much ascertained from the beginning, and that's how it should be left. We have to accept that sometimes, even whether we like it or not, and in reality, this is we have these discussions, we have these chats. In reality, knowing full well that we have no influence on the show whatsoever, and it will attempt to reflect modern day philosophies. It's just the way it is. But if it's gay, so what? I mean, it's like a lot of people are, oh, he's black, so what? What does it matter? What does it matter? It's I think we are making a lot of people are making a lot of assumptions based on either very small clips of audio or what they think is going to happen. That's true. Why not? Come to think of it, that I suppose Bill's character more like alphabet activism than a genuinely gay woman. It was. It felt like it was, and that's that when Bill was the companion, you could see that's the way the writing was beginning to lean. Sadly, I mean, fortunately, they had the great Peter Capaldi to be able to lift that level of writing up a bit, at least. But I think what we need to do now is we all need to stop, think, and wait. I can't understand why people have to make so many assumptions. The videos I've done with about Russell T Davies and Shooty were based on information at that moment in time. I.e., when Russell was coming out and spurting that crap out, that was was wrong, and that was the response you got. When Shooty said what he said on the red carpet, my reaction was for that. They're now not doing that. They're now saying the right things. Are they doing it to appease people? Possibly. Have they had their wrists slapped? Most likely. But you have to stop and think genuinely, how do you really feel about Doctor Who right now, ignoring the 5 years? Because I know the 5 years is tainting everybody, and I know it really is, and I understand. And the thing is, I get it. I do. I feel the same. I feel the same. Mind you, on TV, the vast Jenny relationship to get played for shock value way too much. It wasn't about as Big Fish audios. It was, well, exactly. I agree, Colin. I really do. The thing is, Doctor Who, and you have to look at yourself, put your hand on your heart. And the question I'll pose to you, which you can answer in the comment section down below when this is on YouTube, is hand on heart, what do you genuinely feel is the future of Doctor Who? Is it looking bad? Is it looking good? Or is it wait and see? Because, we can't keep doing this. We keep making snap decisions based on small clips. I will always tell you how I feel, as I always do, heart on sleeve, and if it upsets people, so be it. But I'm cautiously optimistic. At the moment, the way things are being said, I personally, and this is again, remember, ladies and gentlemen, just my personal and humble opinion, I personally think that things are looking good. But I am still cautious. And I do get where people are coming from, and I understand their concerns. Absolutely right. Time will tell. Time always tells. The future is not looking good to me, but what concerns me is, what are they doing this hard reset robot or not? Well, again, no one really knows. Again, a lot of it's as it will be now, from now until the 60th, until Shooty takes over. It's going to be the rumor mill. You are going to hear things. I've heard that this is going to be a reboot, but I've also heard that it isn't. You've got the thing is, if this is a reboot, why have they came out and specifically told you that David is Doctor 14 and Shooty is Doctor 15 if we're rebooting it? I know the number. I mean, the thing is, the numbering system of the Doctors is all over the place now. I mean, and if you subscribe to the Timeless Child thing, who knows what number they are. Sadly, or perhaps realistically, it's a wait and see. As they say, optimists is frequently disappointed, pessimists rarely so. Absolutely agree with that as well. Absolutely agree. I think it will be jumping on the point like 2005 was. We can hope. I hope it is. I really do hope it is. He seems to have opened up his arms to the show, which feels slightly better than the past 5 years, but now is the time to wait and see. Exactly. We need to wait and see. I would imagine now that we're going to start to get more information slowly but steadily drip fed, because Russell's already started that, as we all know, that he started drip feeding stuff about David coming back and Donna, and Catherine Tate coming back and all that. This is all drip fed. It's all been done on purpose, and I think we're going to get more of that now as it builds towards. Because remember, they're now telling you that Shooty will appear in the festive special, which will be obviously his regeneration around about Christmas, which would make sense for the 3 episodes to celebrate the 60th. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, they are next year. We've got a time to wait. Hello, Melvin. I think the most inclusive in TV and films is insincere, delivered with bad intentions. I agree. It really is. things were bad before with regards to sexism and racism, but with certain things pushed these days, it seems more attempt at revenge rather than trying to make things tight. Again, I agree with that sentiment. I really do. I always see it now as they do this so they've got a convenience excuse when it goes wrong, or an easy way to deflect any genuine criticism, because that's the thing that you can shout. The fact that Ncuti specifically stated the Doctor is a Time Lord, along with the numbering system being retained, is at least suggesting the timeless child is being ignored. Yes, but let's be brutally honest, in the Power of the Doctor, and in fact, even in the Sea Devils, it was never mentioned ever again. But then again, that's Chibnall and his plot holes. I still haven't sort of done a review on that episode, but I agree the numbering system's being kept. So I think that means the Timeless Child's been ignored. I think this Timeless Child was a one-off shot. And it backfired, so they just left it. Or it just shows you how bad Chibnall is at writing. And he just did that for the specific reason of, removing the white maleness out of the role. Ncuti interview described the basics of the Doctor Who. He wouldn't say if things were going to drastically change. Well, he's not going to, because he doesn't want to reveal anything, but it's interesting to see the language that's coming out and how it seems very carefully choreographed, which is great, which means they learned their lesson from Jodie's debacle. And it's just so nice to hear people who are going to be in the show talking about the show in a positive way and not having a go at people, which is refreshing. It's like, I'm in charge now, how dare you like it? That is the definite impression that we've had, and it's still going on with the shows. I know, just quickly going off, that some black activists are now saying that when Wakanda Forever comes out, that if you're white, please don't go and watch it. Don't go and watch it on the opening weekend, because if you do, you're racist. That's the kind of insanity that we have to put up with in this world. I agree. I think less about writing with privilege than, yeah, absolutely, exactly. You see, and this is where we're discussing it right now, which is really, really cool. Is that's where things are going, and that's where people's concerns and issues rise from, and they still don't get that exactly. What it leads to is people not watching. And the thing is, it annoys me with Doctor Who, because there is perfect evidence of you doing that and watching your audience drop off a cliff edge. From a new channel follower who reckons that Tennant specials are more or less going to be about unwriting Chibnall's mess. Again, I don't think they are. Even Russell himself said he's just going to leave it. He's actually said the fact that he's just not going to mess with it. And as much as people desperately want the Timeless Child removed from the canon, etc., I genuinely don't think, I mean, I might be wrong, and if they do, that would be great, but I genuinely don't think that they're going to do anything about it. I think the way that the BBC moved very quickly, or, Doctor Who itself moved very quickly from, it was Jodie's final one, and then the very next day we have a new logo, and we have we've got tied up with Disney Plus, and this is happening and that's happening. It was very much quickly like, get rid of that, just get rid of that. Series 11 and 13 was so bad that I didn't even watch the Doctor Who season. Well, no, they didn't sell much merch at all, even though they swear blind that they didn't. Merchandising for this generation of Doctor Who has been abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. So that's not a surprise, and that's something else I think that they are going to, in the next few weeks, start ramping up. Which I said, I've been told sort of from the background that merchandising was ready to go literally the day after Jodie went, and as I said, lo and behold, the very next day the logo appeared, changing quite a lot, really. Gobby Guy, and if the numbers are low because no white people watch the film, they will claim the black. Well, exactly. It's the same. It's the same thing that they got. I mean, let's be brutally honest. That did that with Charlie's Angels. Remember, where they said that the film was not made for white men, and then when they nosedived on the opening weekend, they claimed it was because men don't like seeing women in power. it's always a thing. I mean, you can add that to literally everything. I mean, it's like Commandant Sunak, who's our new leader, not going to COP20, the COP meeting, and Labour going, oh, well, yeah, it's wrong, he's not going. But if he did go, they say, oh, well, you see, you should stay here. And so it's catch-22 all the time. It's the Bobby Ewing moment in the show. Even the BBC showed it on the news. They did indeed, which I think was a very sort of look. It's like that. Look, you remember that scene? Yeah, that's what this was. You get that impression that they were trying to make it. It was like something that needs to be forgotten, and so they're doing that even in their own interviews. So, what does that say? It's going to be interesting how quickly Big Finish adopt the new logo. Yes, it will be. It's even affected the classic merchandising too. Yeah, because I mean, I won't buy. I don't think I have actually bought any of my merchandising with the new logo on. Yeah, it hurts me to buy it with the new logo on, but you know, there you go. Oh, hello, Moons and Madness. Oh, cool live stream. Oh yeah, hello, Matt. Hello, nice for you to join us. You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. Absolutely right, and that's the problem that we're in. And that's the problem that the whole thing, the whole mess that everything is in, it's in this you can't win situation. You just can't win. It's physically impossible to win. And that's annoying. Let's be brutally honest. It really is annoying. It's just ridiculous. It really is. The timeless children is becoming the half-human thing, which is good to keep it buried. When you attempt to retcon it, it becomes an issue again. Just bury it. I agree, Daniel. I think that we don't need to go back to discussing that, really. I think we best just leave it and let it just disappear. I think, you know, it's like, what was it? Star Trek, you know, 2, you know, you of all people know, Doctor, it's not wise to open up old wounds. I think we leave that. I will be quite happy. I mean, the thing is, as we could just ignore it. In reality, we could just pretend it didn't happen. Obviously, I think everybody who's associated with Doctor Who realizes that the timeless child is a thing that just people just want to listen to. There are a couple of sites on DeviantArt that have alternate covers, and BF also supply appropriate ones. When they don't, there you go. MS Paint lets me alternate. There you go. Fair enough. There you go. It's not a problem. It really isn't a problem. But no, I think we need to leave the timeless child as an icon of that failed experiment that we've just suffered 5 years of, to be fair. If Chibnall didn't even bother to go back to it, then why should we? Or why should Russell, in fact? Chibnall's 5-year plan was a load of rubbish. Everything was set up at the end of the Flux. Got no mention of these specials. I think Chebley even forgot what he did. I think they were... the 5-year plan was always a load of rubbish. The 5-year plan... A 5-year plan, well, it's like it's like a football manager comes in with a 5-year plan. That's okay as long as you produce results. The second you stop producing results, that 5-year plan disappears. These specials, I think, were added on. When Flux ended, the 3 specials literally addressed absolutely nothing at all to do with what had happened in the Flux. That pathetic story that didn't really go anywhere, made no sense. It's just, I've come to the conclusion that yes, Jodie, unfortunately, well, whether you think it's right or wrong, it's irrelevant in any case. Jodie is always going to be there as number 13 on all the posters, all the pictures, whatever. She's going to be there forever because she was the Doctor. Whether we liked it or not, she's the Doctor. I'm just going to choose to just ignore that series and see what happens next, because you can do that with everything. You don't have to give it any credence. There could be a middle ground. I see people getting overly outraged on both sides. I don't want to want to compromise with people who call me evil, but there must be reasonable folk on there. There is. The thing is, this is the problem. We have. I always, as you already know, I don't like this sides crap at all. And there isn't really a side. What you've got is you've got the two either end of the spectrum, loving and hating, who just live for that. They live for feeding off the hate. They love the trolling, the causing of the problems, the arrogance, and all that sort of stuff, and all this, that, and the other. They're not really true fans, because true fans of Doctor Who learn to accept things the way they are. And yes, there will be disagreements, but we'll just get along with it. But even Chibnall admitted most of his last series were first drafts. There you go. To be fair, I wouldn't want a logo of Jodie, so there you go. Good morning, good afternoon, Wookie. How are you? I will be seeing you in about an hour and a half, mate, because I shall be on your live stream at 3 o'clock UK time. I did put a plug on it at the beginning, so you know. So if you want to see me and Wookie and other people having a bit of a chat, pop on over to his channel at 3 p.m. for his live stream. It'll be all good fun. There you go. Howdy. So I need to draw this one to a close, to be fair, because I've got to go and get some stuff done. I've got to eat some dinner before I jump on Wookiee's stream. So I'm going to round it up. Do I think, hand on heart, that Doctor Who is going in the right direction? Yes, I do. Am I cautiously optimistic? Yes, I am. Do I still have concerns? Yes, I do. Do I understand where people are coming from when they may have their issues? Yes, I do. I do get it. I understand it. I understand the pain. I understand 5 years of hell has scarred people, and it's difficult to let go of those worrying feelings. I get it. I understand it. I get it completely, 100%. Do I think it's right to judge Shooty on a 2-second clip of his speaking? No. Do I think that they're both, him and Russell, are saying the right things now? Yes. Do I think they said things wrong in the past? Yes. They're righting the ship, but as soon as to avoid the iceberg. That's a very good question. They seem to be making an effort, and I'm happy with that. Do I think Disney have any more influence other than being distributors? No, I don't. I just think that people are trying to read into it. And as I said, it was one single paper. I can't find any other articles that say Disney are going to do this and Disney are going to do that. They're going to have an influence. They're not. They are just the distributors. But I will also say that if... Good day, Paul. How you doing, mate? Just have to wait and see. That's all we can do for now. Exactly. That's all we can do. I will pop on my channel reports on things as they come up in the media and any rumours and stuff. But I don't really like cracking on too much about rumours because it's going to be rumour season from now till, I think it's November, isn't it? November when the next one is. That's next year. So, you know, there's going to be plenty of time for plenty of salt and rumour and this is that and that is this. We'll just have to wait and see. But I'll keep reporting on it, obviously, because, you know, that's what I'm here to do. That is what I'm here to do. Right then, best bring this to a close. I've got to have my dinner, as I said, and I've got to be on Wookiee stream in less than an hour and a half. So, indeed. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope this sort of sets out my stall. My stall is, at the moment, with Doctor Who. I'm going to wait and see. I'm cautiously optimistic. That pretty much sums up how I feel at this present moment in time, but I also get where people are coming from. I won't be watching unless it gets reviews from the fans. Try watching Jodie's run twice. Made a way to 6 second go. It was watchable. Absolutely. That's the way it should be. Right then. Later's all out. Absolutely. I concur with that, Colin. So there you go. That's where I stand. That's how I feel about things. If you agree with me, that's wonderful. If you don't agree with me, that's also wonderful. Yeah, but I'm not, you know, you don't have to agree with me. Like I don't have to agree with other people. I still watch them. I still interact with people. Just because I have a different opinion doesn't mean we still can't be friends. Just think about that for a moment. So, with that, and as always, and until the next one, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for everyone in the chat. Thank you for all the things that you've said. They've been brilliant. It's been enjoyable. Thanks for the interaction. And with that, I shall love you and leave you. Goodbye, everybody. And until the next one,